If you're wondering how to let go of someone who once was your everything, this video might just be the embrace your soul is longing for today. Welcome. You're in a space where what you feel is not judged nor diminished. You won't hear things like just forget or move on as if it were that easy. Here, we walk together across that invisible bridge that leads from pain to peace. And even if that bridge feels impossible at times, it's not. Today we'll talk about something that feels immense. How to get over someone who was part of you for so long. How to let go of someone who already seems to have let go of you without looking back. And how to find meaning and serenity in the middle of so much confusion. How do you move on from someone who was with you for so long? First, don't try to get over it like it's a task to complete, like you have to erase or deny what you lived. This isn't about forgetting, it's about integrating, about realizing that this person was part of your journey, but not the journey. They were important, maybe even essential, but not eternal. And that doesn't make them less meaningful. What you lived was real, even if it ended. Your soul doesn't want you to skip grief. Your soul wants you to walk through it with awareness. That person wasn't your destination. They were a station. And when the station can no longer take you further, life gently asks you to step off, even if your heart resists. So how do you accept that they changed, left, or seem like they didn't care? By understanding that people don't always stay where we want them to, but where their soul needs to be. And that has nothing to do with your worth. Even if it feels like rejection, even if it looks like they tossed you aside, what really happened is that you were set free. Not because you weren't enough, but because you couldn't grow there anymore. And yes, it might seem like they didn't care, but you're not here to measure other people's love. You're here to learn how you love, how you choose, what you do with what you feel. And if someone walks away without looking back, let that teach you to walk forward with greater strength. How do you keep living when you put so much into that relationship? By knowing this, you didn't lose what you gave. Everything you offered, even if it felt like it fell into a void, is part of your spiritual balance. What you give from the heart is never wasted. It wasn't in vain. You were loyal. You were brave. You loved. And that is yours. Even if they didn't protect it, you gave it truthfully. That belongs to you. And now, it's time to give that same love to yourself. Now, maybe one of the hardest emotions shows up. Anger, resentment, that haunting question. How can I not hate them when I fought for us and they gave up so easily? By allowing yourself to feel it all, without choosing to stay stuck in it. This isn't about repression. It's about understanding. Resentment grows from betrayal, from the story we thought we deserved and didn't get. But you're not here to control someone else's choices. You're here to discover that what you truly deserve doesn't depend on anyone else. You don't need the other person to suffer in order for you to heal. You don't need them to realize anything for you to move forward. Forgiveness isn't a gift for them. It's a gift for you. A way to stop carrying what no longer belongs to you. Not to justify them, but to set yourself free. Not to forget, but to unburden your soul. And if you can't forgive today, that's okay. Forgive yourself for that too. Don't rush. Don't force it. Resentment leaves when understanding enters. And understanding comes when you realize you no longer need hatred to close a chapter. Look back with compassion. Be grateful for what was. Cry for what wasn't. And honor what's still to come. Because something is coming. Something always comes. But it can't enter while you're still holding the ghost of what's gone. And this This is where I want to take you, to a higher place, not to excuse anyone, but to lift you up. You don't need hatred to protect yourself. You don't need to cling to resentment to avoid falling again. Resentment is a shield, but also a prison. It protects, yes, but it locks you into a story that no longer lives. And you deserve to live again. Forgiveness isn't saying it was okay, it's saying, I don't want to carry this anymore. It's looking at the other person, even just in your mind, and telling them, I set you free, because in doing so, I set myself free. And yes, you will cry. Of course you will. Some tears cleanse more than 1,000 words. Some tears aren't signs of defeat, but of a soul releasing the weight of the world. Don't judge yourself for crying at midnight, for rereading old conversations, for dreaming of what no longer is. You're healing. And when you feel like you can't take it anymore, when you wonder if you'll ever stop missing them, remember this. You don't just miss the person. You miss who you were with them. You miss the version of you that believed, that hoped, that dreamed. But that version of you isn't lost. That version is on pause, waiting for you to take their hand and walk forward again. Wiser, stronger, more you. Trust this. You're not alone in this process. Love didn't leave you. It's transforming. You didn't lose your great love. You're learning to become it. And the day that happens, even if it still feels far, that will be the day you look back and say, thank you for leaving, because it brought me back to myself. And that is where everything begins. So how do you go on? Slowly, gently, one step at a time. One day you put away a photo. Another day, you stop checking their profile. Another, you go out and laugh without feeling guilty. And one day, without an exact date, you find yourself thinking about someone else, or just about yourself, and you smile. That day doesn't come by magic. It comes because you stayed with yourself, because you didn't run, because you honored the love, and then you learned to let it go. You are not alone, and even if it feels like you've lost so much, you're about to find yourself. And that, I promise you, is worth more than everything that left. Every tear you've cried has been heard by the universe. Every time you thought no one understood your pain, I tell you, I do. Because that immense love you gave comes from the same source that now wants to return it to you, multiplied. This channel is here for you, for your heart, for your questions, for your journey. So if you're going through something, if there's a question that still has no answer, or a feeling you don't know how to hold, leave it in the comments. Write it from the soul. Maybe in the next video you'll find the answer your heart has been waiting for. Thank you for walking a part of your path with me today. I embrace you from here, with everything you are, with everything you've been, and above all, with everything you're still becoming. I'll see you in our next encounter. And until then, stay with yourself.